everyone, and welcome to another high-elo game of Age of Empires. Today, we're going to test the booming capabilities of two rising stars as Hoang, playing as the Mongols in red, prepares to take on DracKeN, playing as, wait a second, the Mongols? Question mark, in teal. And by the way, we are on a fantastic new map that has never been featured on this channel, which we'll take a look at in a second. But while the players herd their herdables, don't really need to explore their explorables because this map is played on explored and try to get their butts up. My guess is to Imperial Age ASAP. Not a bad opportunity for us not only to take a look at the Civ, but also at the map that we're on. If you're not familiar with what the hell you're looking at, why is there a giant forest in between these two players? We are on a map called Michi. Again, I know there's going to be some pronunciation police out there who will say, oh, it's not Michi, it's Michi, Michi. I don't know if the CH is a hard ch sound or if it's like the state of Michigan or the performer's share. Is it Michi, Mishi, Mishi, Mushi? I don't know what the hell the name of this map is. I tried to look it up. Basically, no one knows why this map is called Michi. There are some theories, but no one knows exactly why it's called. The bottom line is, let's take a look at the Mongol civilization, which is the only civ we've got today, and then we'll take a look at the map itself, and I will explain why perhaps somebody recovering from a cold with a voice that is not at 100% is pretty much an idiot for choosing to cast this game, as his voice is just on the verge of recovering its former timbre. In any event, the Mongols, enough silliness. The Mongols, an incredibly fast cavalry-centric civilization. Their scout line units come with extra line of sight. Their cav archers fire faster. Their scout line units and their steppe lancers all come with 20 and then 30% more HP in Castle and Imperial. And their unique unit needs no introduction. The Mangadai, a fast-firing quick cavalry archer with an amazing attack bonus against siege units. Now, to keep up with their super duper fast army on the battlefield, the Mongols can't upgrade their siege units to move 50% faster, which I'm assuming, hoping, praying we actually get to see this game. And I'll explain why I think we're going to see it, because generally this map goes to the very, very, very late stages of the game. And to help them support their military endeavors, their hunters work 40% faster than normal, and their houses, of all things, can get upgraded so that they don't lose population space if they get destroyed. And by the way, this might be one of the only maps in the entire pantheon of Age of Empires maps that this nomad upgrade, pardon me, nomads with an S at the end of it, is actually going to come into play. So that is the one and only civilization. Not too hard to see why the players have chosen Mongols once you kind of get your bearings with this map. A few things before we do start looking at our surroundings, our explorables. If you notice in the beginning on Michi, you do start with 9 villagers, 2 houses, but you still do start in the Dark Age. And so just out of force of habit, Hoang immediately building 2 houses, and DracKeN doing the exact same thing. Looks like the players are herding their herdables and pulling their pullables, pushing their pushables, and everything along those lines. And so both players sitting at 21, 23 villagers a pop, because it is our Mongol in teal who wants to be the great Khan of this battle, who is already heading up to Feudal Age. So if you're not familiar with Michi, here is how it works. A few interesting features of this map. There's a massive forest in between the players. Let's take a look at the actual resources, because it's kind of Arabia-ish in the stone and gold count, a little bit more gold than your average 28k, 28 point whatever k it is on Arabia, and your usual 8,400 stone. A decent amount of food to start with, enough to get you up to feudal, and then maybe a bit more in castle to get you moving along. And then more importantly, look at that wood quantity, almost 500,000 wood on this map. You'll also have noticed a few white boxes on the mini map in the corner. Everyone does start with neutral markets, which means trade. You can actually trade in a 1v1. I'm assuming this market is not going to stay here very long, just the usual market blacksmith combo. DracKeN just needs 190 more gold. Will he sell? Probably will sell his wood and not the stone. Let's see if I'm correct about that, as Michi is still 30 seconds away from hitting Castle Age. Was I right? Is he even going to sell anything? No, he's just sold stone. He said, you know what? Forget it. I'm already mining stone. I thought he would want to save that, seeing how much freaking wood there is on this map. But in any event, he's already heading up to Castle Age. Michi still hasn't even... Oh my god, did I say Mr. Yo? Hoang I apologize. I was watching a Mr. Yo game before this. And I don't know. He was also playing Mongols. So my brain's a little scattered. But Hoang is still nowhere close. Nowhere close. Come on. Finish construction so I can prove myself wrong. Look at his food. Look at his gold. He's got the res that he needs. Just doesn't have the structures. Even after he finishes this blacksmith, he's already... Okay, so he, unlike DracKeN, who put his market kind of in the middle of the map just for ease of access, Hoang already sent out villagers to the periphery of the map. And so the second this market goes up, I'm assuming we're going to get to see, there it is, Castle HQ'd behind the villager. But unlike DracKeN, Hoang can actually start trading immediately if he wanted to. Doesn't exactly have a lot of wood, and the 100 wood that he does, he immediately goes for a trade card. So this map, you might be wondering, what's the deal with this map? Why is it so weird? Why is there a big giant forest in the middle? Basically, unless you're the Khmer, the Kamai, and Castle Age, who have the only unit in the game that is able to cut through trees in Castle, I'm of course referring to the good old Ballista Elephant, everyone's favorite unit to hate after the Ratha, you basically have to wait until you get onagers in order to cut through this giant forest, which means games generally go into the late stages. Very forward town center here for our Mongol in teal, a second one being placed closer to the golden wood. Lots and lots of good places, by the way, to place town centers around the map. Lots of little gold and stone patches next to wood, which is always fun. You know, you get a twofer. You kill two birds with one stone, basically. And here we go, the ox cart ever so slowly. Tap, tap, tap on the cow's butt. Oxen are cow, right? I think they're bovines, if I'm not mistaken. Now, once you've pulled all of your animals, pushed all your animals, the question is, do you delete this unit? Do you really need it as a an extra, you know, an extra mouth to feed, an extra unit of population? I don't know. I don't know what the correct answer is, but this map, generally, there are a few civilizations that may be better than other civs. I rarely like to say certain civs are better or worse than others. It all depends. The very annoying answer that everyone loves. It depends. 2 extra TCs for Hoang as well. One also very much in the center forward position for both of them. Interesting. So no one's going out to the flanks just yet. But there's civilizations that do really well on this map. For example, defensive civilizations like the Byzantines, whose buildings get chunkier and chunkier as time goes by. Then you have booming civilizations like the Persians, the Burgundians, for example. Can you imagine in Castle Age having Imperial Age technologies on this map, safe and sound from your enemy? You just boom the hell out of your economy. And then there's siege civilizations like the Celts, the Mongols. Anyone who gets a real... I say siege, but in reality, who's kidding who? Let's say it like it is. Siege onager civilization. Because siege rams, as cool as they are, scorpions, as cool as they are, heavy or light, it's usually the onager that comes into play, because the onager cuts the path through the forest. And then because, by the way, you cut a path through the forest, the space of attack is not exactly it's not open like Arabia. So generally there's a lane that's created either in the center or eventually, you know, on the peripheries to kind of sneak into your opponent's base, sneaky style. But that path is generally a few 3 or 4 or even 5 tiles wide. And for example, the Ethiopians will have you dead to rights if you try to shove in an army through a 3 to 5 tile choke point with their torsion engine siege onagers. So civilizations with siege onagers do really well. I should say siege onager features do really well. I personally like the Koreans in this case because they have the longest range siege onagers with 10 tiles of range compared to everyone else's not 10 tiles of range. Also, archer civilizations do well on this map if you can withstand and pick off siege onagers. As good as 10 range on an onager is, you know what's even better? 12 range on a freaking Britain longbow. 4 TC going up for DracKeN. And then just, I guess, civilizations that are kind of a mix of both. So like the Vikings, who have siege onagers, but also have Bogsvegar, for example, would do really well. Oh, and of course, because there is trade civilizations. The Spanish, for example, do really well on Michi, but more importantly, the Hindustanis and the Persians, who have already gotten a notable mention, because those are the 2 civilizations that can actually build caravanserai. So if your trade cards, forget the healing, although I shouldn't say forget the healing, eventually Eventually, I predict one of these players is going to bust into the base of the other player and attack the other player's trade. That's generally how it goes. Otherwise, you're sitting on a 7-hour game and you're just not sleeping tonight and calling in sick tomorrow to work. But Caravanserai can be absolutely deadly. 2 markets for Teal, only 1 still for Hoang, who still just has that 1 trade card. What's the payload here? 63. Again, tap, tap, tap. How adorable is that? I think ox are forms of bovines and cattle. This is the thing I love about Age of Empires, among many things. If you watch this channel, you know I absolutely love this game. But more importantly, the community. I know someone is going to know in the comments whether an ox is a type of cow or not. Whereas I can just conjecture and run my mouth not knowing anything. So Hoang already has first trade card getting built. What do you do with a trade card? Do you build it? Do you train it? Whatever the terminology is, it is about to pop out of the northernmost. So we'll see whether the market right in the corner to corner pays more than corner to not so corner here. Although Hoang with the forest here probably, doesn't really want to put it in the corner. So this map, generally, as you can tell, we're 19 minutes in. Obviously, no kills. Both players in castle, both players getting handcart. DracKeN with a bit of an earlier lead into Castle Age and therefore earlier TC builds has 13 villagers more than his opponent. But why did I say this may not be the best map for somebody recovering from a cold whose voice needs rest? I should have probably picked a shorter game that I casted as opposed to this one because, yeah, this game's last a long time. And when you're talking, your voice ain't healing. Now, this is a weird location for houses. Okay, let's see if the payload is more. No, it's the exact same. So it doesn't really make a difference that Hoang has his market about, what do we want to say, 12 tiles from the corner. Why do I call this weird? Because generally, you want to start walling off certain portions of your base. If you're defensive-minded, for example, as a player, there's not a lot of room on this map, despite that, originally it does look like there is a lot of room. But believe me, once these players start plopping down military infrastructure, there's not going to be a lot of space left over. Hoang, by the way, with a 5th town center, pardonnez-moi, a 6th town center is going to start out booming his opponent very quickly. His opponent, by the way, getting gold shaft mining. And so the houses generally, maybe it's more of a team game thing, but you kind of want to build them in the middle or in a bit more of a useful position. Not that they have a lot of HP, not that they have a lot of lasting power. Like I said, a Byzantine house, definitely you want to put in a bit more forward. But I guess both players are more interested in saving space at the moment. DracKeN having to sell wood. Not a bad exchange rate, actually, for wood. 400 for 272. That's not bad at all. He might be... actually, I think when you click the neutral market, it tells you the exchange rates. No, that can't be right. 91, 92? Food is at 111, 112? Is that right? No, that mathematics doesn't check out. What's 272 divided by 4? It's about just under 70, right? Okay, so forget the wall off. He is going for a castle. The question is, who will push into who and where? Can you imagine DracKeN or Hoang just slowly cutting one little tile, a little sliver of a room, of a corridor here, and then sneaking units inside? DracKeN expects the eastern flank of his base to come under attack. Hoang, the western flank of his base. Now, this is annoying. I mean, you don't want to build structures on the actual trade route. You want to make it as seamless as possible for your trade cart to make it from one place to another. But okay, there we go. A wall commencing how many segments? 34 segments, so 170 stone spent on this wall. Not a big fan of using forests as part of the wall off, just because, again, these are two civilizations with siege onagers, so a forest means absolutely nothing. A siege onager laughs in the face of a forest. Oh, by the way, seeing the monk reminds me, probably should have mentioned this earlier, but I'm not the greatest caster at all, that there are, in fact, relics on this map. I believe 1 apiece. And there we go. With that 1 relic, Hoang has 1, DracKeN has 1. So DracKeN, I guess, does not want to deal with any kind of, we'll call it northern I hesitate to say left, right. Let's call this the northern. He does not want to deal with any attack here, which suggests to me he may not be attacking if he's the one who attacks through this position and he hits Imperial right as Hoang just clicks into Imperial. And let's see it immediately. Onager upgrade. How many siege workshops are we working with? Of course, I click the houses. Only 2 siege workshops. Center castle as well. Okay, so he's expecting a center push, or he wants to push into the center. Our Mongol in teal, who hits Imperial Age with 24 fewer villagers, 25, and that number is just going to increase because Hoang is training 12 villagers. DracKeN is stopped. 102 is what he thinks is the magic number for his military. Trade carts 14 going up to 24. Hoang, what the hell? Only 2 trade carts? This is it? This is the red Mongol economy? Now he's getting nomads? Although this is the interesting thing. You put your houses in the super rear position. Why the hell are you getting nomads? I can see if you put them forward, if you, like I said earlier, you've seen it, you see it sometimes, players clogging up the works. You know, a double row of houses here next to a stone wall provides a lot of protection. Then I can see nomads, but with your houses to the back, I mean, DracKeN, DracKeN who's already cutting Hoang, does he see it with his outpost? He does. He's not going to run into any houses, so I'm questioning the why he went with nomads. Not exactly an expensive upgrade, not exactly a costly one at all. But I guess there are some houses here in the forward position. Oh, never mind, he deleted them. Okay, so he got nomads so that he could delete the houses and make space for siege workshops. He's getting bloodlines and leather archer armor, which means we are going to get to see red Mangudai. Hoang's army, 6 Mangudai, 1 monk, the original scout, and 1, it looks like a basic mangonel. Let's see Teal's vision. Okay, he sees the town center. The Mangudai are here. What are their upgrades? Not great yet. But like I said, you just wait. This game goes into the late stages very quickly. And oh my goodness, 29.5 minutes into the game. We've got our first kill. Hoang shooting down the mango. So it is in fact DracKeN who is pushing in. And it is in fact DracKeN who is pushing into the center, which kind of explains the wall off. I love zooming out on this map, by the way, just seeing the Sim City that the players... Because this really, like I said in the intro to this video, ooh, careful, careful, careful. Another one bites the dust. We are really going to see the booming capability. Hoang perhaps over booming. I mean, he's not at 200 population yet, but 166 villagers and trade carts. That might be a little bit too much. Does open up a bit of an area here, though, to press in with his Mangudai. Does DracKeN, who is now getting the drill upgrade. And look at him go. Look at him go. Look at him go. I love it. But still not fast enough. Another kill. How many kills for this castle? 1 lone Mangudai tried to shove in. Hoang needs to wall this off, or at the very least do something with this corridor here. You can't just leave this. Elite Mangudai for teal, I believe. Yeah, elite Mangudai for red as well now. Siege Onager for red, Siege Onager for teal. Okay, so we're gonna get to see Onagers and Mangudai, and that is gonna be pretty fun. Let's see what while the players kind of disengage. So far, 5 kills to 0. A third market going up for Hoang. He's training 3 carts. Okay, he's getting Parthian tactics. Siege Engineers for teal to add a little bit of extra range, among other things, to these 8 range Onagers, soon to be Siege Onagers. And there is drill as well for Hoang. How many siege workshops are we working with here for both players? Only 2? Only 3. Okay. I mean, look at the villager count on gold. Hoang, 50. DracKeN, 35. Welcome to Michi. If you're not familiar with this map, damn, oh damn, is it a fun one. And by the way, I'm glad that it's coming more into the mainstream. There's been a lot of players that I've been watching on Twitch saying they want to play more of this map, just because, again, it does give you the same kind of benefit that a deathmatch format gives you, which is you start the game and then you have in deathmatch, you have the resources to immediately build your army. So you can immediately start training a massive army and then shoving it right into the face of your opponent. In this map, in Michi, I mean, you can play this on deathmatch mode too, but in random map mode like this game, you have a bit of time, right? I mean, the first kill was 29 minutes in. How many villagers can you train in 29 minutes? How many trade cards, Hoang? Okay. Joke was on me. He did not intend to keep those houses there at all. Okay. Still has that 200 population space. Welcome to Nomads. Not too sure what's happening with this card, but imagine Caravanserai spread out all over the place here. More and more buildings are being destroyed. Is Teal doing the same thing? Not really. Again, I'm not too sure why Hoang decided to do that. The houses weren't really in the way, just like they're not really in the way for Teal, who is also starting to delete his houses and accidentally deleted what looks like a mill in the process. Okay. I mean, I don't understand it. These are still structures you can use for defense if you place them somewhere else, but it doesn't really matter. Let's take a look at army counts, 22 to 19. DracKeN very far away from being population capped. Hoang starting to add in hussars, as we saw 7 stables going down. And he's getting blast furnace right as Teal, who is going elite step lancer, is getting forging. So he showed his hand with some onagers and mangadai, and now he's going step lancers off of the back of one single stable. More? I can see if the population cap on the game was, 300, 225. What the hell do you need 4 markets for? I mean, he's already got 34 trade cards going up. And here we go, Hoang, click, 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 click. A bunch of stables on the right side, a bunch of stables on the left as well. I got my, I realized I got my sides confused. A bunch of stables on the right. 10 of them here. 7 over here. Hoang, by the way, says, you know what? I'm not going to build a wall. I'm not going to spend my stone. What I'm going to do is place a bunch of outposts. So I can see, for example, puffs of air and flaming balls coming at my face from a mile away. And so he doesn't expect the need to defend, whereas, okay, DracKeN now is just now starting to put up outposts. So DracKeN's going to have like an early radar system with these outposts, like Hoang does. But unlike Hoang, who I guess if he sees a cut through here, will try to defend with, holy shit, 17 stables? So he's going to try to defend Byzantine style by clogging up the toilet with a whole bunch of units. DracKeN says, you know what? I have that option. I'll just send them from other locations. But I also have a bit of a wall situation. Did he just delete a bunch of villagers? I heard death sounds. Or did he accidentally kill villagers with his onagers? He is clearing a path for his trade units. But this is amazing. One player has 5 stables. One player has, oh my goodness, a lot more than 5. 33. Hoang spending his wood fantastically. Says, you know what? I'm at 200 pop. I've got 8 trade cards queued up. Don't really need that much wood anywhere. Look at Hoang's freaking gold. 9,000 gold almost. As his settlement comes under attack yet again. Where is his defense? What do you have in here? You've got 5 siege onagers, 2 siege onagers. So only 2 siege workshops still for Hoang. I'm surprised. For all that the stables are going up here, if he gets attacked through here, you might want to build a siege workshop or 2, no? More stables. Oh my god. What is he going for? Hussars? He's got a single hussar, that one scout that has existed from the early stage of the game. The one I said you should probably delete. Hoang says, nah, why would I delete that? It's 80 food. Tethers the fastest unit to the slowest. And here we go. A bit of an exploration for us here. Oh, never mind. Turns tail and runs away. And let's see it. He's going to see the step lancers moving in. Will he ungarrison? This is what I'm talking about. It's so risky to move an army into what now is 5 or 6 tiles. Because they clump, they clump, they clump! And when they clump, they get freaking pancaked. Absolutely epic. This is why I said earlier, civilizations with siege bonuses absolutely crush it on this map. Just like those soldiers had got their rib cages, their helmets, their bodies crushed. And we waited 42 minutes for it, but the battle has commenced. Hoang is almost at 10,000 gold, 9,000 food. He's got absolutely no wood. Does he give a shit? He does not. He's got so many stables already up and running. And immediately 60 hussars are being trained, but 56 elite step lancers on the other side of the world are being trained as well. Both players have spent their onager counts. Hoang is down to 3, DracKeN down to 5. Ooh, Hoang's castle is down. I hope this game didn't take 42 minutes just to end after 5 seconds of fighting. And Hoang says, you know what, here we go. I've got 170 civilian units. Why the hell not just use them and throw them into the meat grinder? Random house causing trouble. Mangonite taking a pounding from a very poorly located onager who cannot escape. But uh-oh, Hoang's entire front has collapsed. That one castle was his whole line of defense. Oh no. And now the step lancers are heading into the trade route. We'll keep an eye on those. We'll see if they can get any damage. Who the hell's getting who? They're gonna get a whole bunch of damage. One onager gets a whole bunch of onager kills for red. Absolute chaos. At this point, the name of the game is stream in units. Left, right, and center for as long as you can. Hoang has depleted his food count. For somebody who had 9,000 food a second ago, he's only got 38 villagers on food. He's also down to about half his gold with a massive 6,000 gold left in the bank. Step Lancers, 16 kills. All of them economic, villagers and trade carts. What is their movement speed? 1.6, which means they will catch trade carts that move at 1.5 without caravanserai support. But Hoang, you know what? He's clogging up the works. I mean, with hussars. If I'm not mistaken, the pierce armor on a hussar should be a base of a 2, same as a step lancer, right? Yeah. So because the Mongols don't have either cavalry or archer final armor upgrades, both the step lancers and the hussars are stuck. Absolutely stuck at 4 pierce armor against their opposing Mangonite units. Oh, another flattening of a Mangonite, and the step lancers are going after the Mangonels. Not the greatest attack, not the greatest attack, but another one follow up. Fantastic. Hoang is training 13 frickin' siege onagers at a time. 66 hussars. DracKeN 10 step lancers, 10 Mangonite. Hoang's army outnumbers his opponents by 20. The step lancers have done the dirty. They are no longer here. They have been killed, I'm assuming, by that Mangonite, or a Mangonite or 2. Hoang is down to 19 trade cards. DracKeN's at 50 freaking trade cards. Holy shit, that is a lot of gold. That is 3,000 gold each round trip. But you know what? You can't really keep sending step lancers like this into a whole huge body of Mangonite who by the way, take a pounding from the onagers and stay standing. I love that Hoang hasn't trained a single treb just yet. He's been so adamantly focused on the defense. Where are you going? Where are you going? He gets the treb, somehow still alive, and runs away. Drill for the win. Drill for the win. How the hell is this one onager still alive? And Hoang, for the first time, I mean, I was going to say 49 minutes, but who's kidding who? For the first time in 7 minutes, is pushing out. And for the first time, by the way, in 7 minutes, is actually going to see what his opponent has. DracKeN's vision. Look at how much of Hoang's base he's seen. Hoang has seen nothing. Asymmetrical warfare here in this Mongol civil war. Double whammy. Man, oh man. Onager v Onager micro, especially when they can move 50% faster, is so ruthless. These are not free kills. A Mangonite is 65 gold. An onager is 135 gold. So if you lose 2 Mangonite for an onager, oh no, oh no, oh My voice just went hypersonic. If you lose 2 Mangudai for an onager, you're not getting the W you think you are. And if you lose about 1 billion Mangudai for 4 or 3 onagers, actually the 4th one is still alive. Definitely not the W. Oh, but he's going to kill his own units? Maybe not. Kill count already at a healthy 600 between the 2 players after literally 9 minutes of gameplay. And I can finally take a sip of water. I can finally relax my breath as DracKeN. Where the hell did you think you were going with that one Mangudai? Okay, Hoang, this is your moment. This is your moment not to kill your own units. This is your moment to shove in. He's got 69 Hussars trained. He's got 27 onagers training. But you know what? Unlike Hoang's base, which is completely open, there are walls on both sides of this battlefield. Okay, Hoang finally does see this castle that's up here, has gotten rid of the TC, much like his forward TC has gotten got. What an absolute maelstrom of fiery ball death. But now it's Hoang's turn to be clumped. Okay. Luckily, Mangudai still do move faster than onagers. Okay, what the hell's wrong with you? In the middle of a battlefield. One Step Lancer, unfortunately, has an epileptic seizure. Which, by the way, is no joking matter. When I used to be a cashier at Home Depot, holy moly, I don't know what it is about Home Depot. But as a cashier, I had to help no fewer than 3 customers who had epileptic seizures while waiting in line for my registry. And here we go. A little bit of a sneaky from our Teal Mongol, who is also finally at the same 200 pop as his opponent. Hoang, though, only has 21 trade cards to the 50 of his opponent. That being said, his opponent is going heavy Step Lancer play from the very beginning, whereas Hoang at least was able to distract with Hussars. And this one onager, hero onager, will he get more kills? He does get more kills right as he dies. Penetration to the east, but they're running through a gauntlet. The castle is going to kill so many of these Mangudai. Holy shit, the entire force that started out is down to what? 1 or 2? 1 or 2? Only 2 survive, but they're right here, right at the mouth of the trade. More mangonels falling. I mean, what the hell? Look at Hoang's production list. 43 freaking mangonels is what? 5,000 gold that he's tied up into mangonels right now? 31 Mangudai to 16. But Teal is going up by 29. Oh no. Oh my goodness. So far, 5 economic kills, 6 economic kills, 7 economic kills, 8 economic kills, 9, 10, 11. When will Hoang realize that his trade route is being decimated? Why does Hoang have 70 villagers on wood and only 36 on food? I feel like he can take maybe 10 or 20 and put them on food. Double whammy there, gets a couple of onagers, but wow. DracKeN trying to change the status quo with that penetration there. I still don't see any red units. Oh, wait a second. No, never mind. Those are trade cards. He's up to 21, 16. 16 dead trade cards. And Hoang has so many onagers here. But onagers clump. And here comes some teal onagers who might want to contest the clump. Never mind. They get got right as they catch a few random. I mean, this is just absolutely bonkers. What an absolutely bonkers situation happening right here. I don't know what to focus on. Do I focus on the never-ending trade card deaths? He's up to 22, but Hoang will finally get the kill and secures. He's got to wall this in. Wall this up, wall this out, whatever the hell you want to call it. Onager closing in on the Mangudai, but he gets got by the Hussars. And yet again, stalemate. Both players clawing their way up to 200 population. DracKeN reaches it first. Hoang, okay, he's finally starting to cancel some of these onager units, and he's instead queuing 20 trade cards with which, if I'm not mistaken, is 1,000 gold. He's gonna see the bare ass of these horses. He's going to try to get a few shots off. Okay, one does die, but wait a second. Now Hoang is clumped. Oh, it's such a ridiculous tit for tat with onagers. It is such a ridiculous tit for tat. Maybe that's why Hoang has 70 villagers. Another pancake on wood. I mean, look at the power of 1 or 2 onagers to just decimate a count that is triple. He's gonna kill a lot of his own units here. Okay, we're by the way up to almost 1,000 deaths. Oh no, Hoang didn't secure his eastern border. He's got to see. I mean, obviously he sees it. He's got to notice. Castle already has 9 Mangudai kills. One of them goes the wrong way. That's certainly gonna help out here. But this is not 2 Mangudai that are gonna survive. No. What the hell was the point of that? Why did he just throw the rest of his Steppe Lancers into the trash? Ox carts a dying. Mangudai looking for Vil kills, run by a small farming community. Say, you know what? Forget that. We are on the hunt for greater game. We're gonna leave that to the. Where are they going? Okay. Hoang brings back a force. Actually, Hoang brings back his entire army. This is all that he's got on defense. A couple of villagers, a random hussar, and no fewer than 16 onagers. Let's see if he's paying attention. He's not paying attention at all. Steppe Lancers survive unscathed. It's actually Hoang's hussar who dies, but he does manage to stop them with a few Mangudai. They stop to attack, and because they have range, the sucky, shitty thing about Steppe Lancers is because they're one range, if you just right-click them onto a siege onager, they don't close. Which means if, for example, this siege onager attacks over here, it only does minimal damage. Whereas if it was a hussar, it would have attacked right next to the onager. And even though it would have killed the enemy hussar, it would have killed your onager as well. So Steppe Lancers are a bit of a double-edged sword here. It looks like the incursion inside Hoang's base has also been cleared up, but by the way, he's down to 7 trade carts. But we're not here for mercantilism. We are here to watch units absolutely die beneath a barrage of fiery flaming balls. That is exactly what's happening here. Hoang, more and more hussars. Army count, he's got double his opponent, but he's down 50 civilian population, which means DracKeN can replenish his army a lot better than Hoang can. And by the way, he still has a Mangudai here. I mean, oh, is he actually going to get to kill this? He might actually kill that cart. Wow. Let me know, by the way, in the comments. First of all, if you're still here, thank you very much. I know it's a bit of a longer game. I know my voice is still not at 100%. If you're still here, let me know in the comments. Does this game make you want to play Michi, or does this game absolutely disgust you? Because I can see it going both ways. Steppe Lancers chase hussars now for teal as well, realizing that, hey, wait a second. Maybe not the best unit to engage into an onager clump. This guy appears to be on defensive stand, but does have 5 kills. Will he get the onager? He does not. Looks like the Mangudai here has been cleared up. Oh, look at this guy. Why do I need to fight my enemy when my enemy just comes straight to me? Look at this guy. This is like the best job in the world. You don't have to get off your ass. Look at this. Amazing. Now DracKeN has more army. DracKeN has more civilian. DracKeN has more population total. Hoang's gold reserves have been depleted. And his enemy is pressing in. He's got a single trebuchet, which tells me he wanted to press out a second ago. But unfortunately, his opponent has other plans, and DracKeN rather, finally plopping down infrastructure, says, you know what? Even if you press into me, that'll give me a minute. Oh, double whammy. I'm going to plop down infrastructure, so even if you do move into my base, you're going to have to deal with that infrastructure first, which will give me time to train even more units. By the way, DracKeN's trade is absolutely epic. It is still going strong. And he's yet again penetrated the base. He's here to the rear. Looks like he killed a bunch of oxen. Our favorite, laziest step lancer in the world still does have the same 5 kills. What an absolute epic game. But yeah, losing your trade over and over again while your opponent's trade is completely untouched. By the way, did Hoang even see? Yeah, he hasn't seen anything on the enemy side of the base beyond that initial explored that the map is played on, like Rage Forest and Black Forest. Wow. Pardon me, I'm going to have a sip of water, and then we are going to very much dive into the numbers here. All right, hydrated, I return. And let's just see what the hell we were working with. Almost 400 Hussars, almost 350 Step Lancers. Mangonite count, double for DracKeN. 100 Siege Onagers. And I can confidently say, you know, sometimes it shows Siege Onager, but for the majority of the game, it was like a Mangonel. And then the last 5 minutes, the player hits Imperial and upgrades to Siege Onager. So it shows it? No. These were all Siege Onagers, 166 of them. Peak APM, right as the battle actually began, 42 minutes into the game. Peak APM, 15 minutes after that. And here we go. Here we freaking go. 40,000 trade compared to 10,000. This is just ridiculous. Total resources gathered. Holy shit, though. Pardon my, I'm swearing a lot this game. I apologize. I'm really sorry. I'm not trying to be, to do it on purpose. But look at the resources collected after an hour and 7 minutes. They are less than 1% apart. Forget 1%. I think this is less than 0.1% apart. They are literally 240, 230, 228. If my math is right, 228 resources apart after having collected 165,000. I mean, at this point, if you don't bow your cap or whatever the expression is, tip your hat to these two players, you've got no heart in you. I mean, these two warriors for 67 minutes battling it out, having the exact total resources. Let's see, Hoang, a lot more wood, a lot more food, but the trade is what made the difference here, having 29,500 more gold than your opponent. Stone count, this always confuses me. I don't understand. They both had the exact same stone piles. Let's take a look at Hoang's vision. They both had the exact same starting stone piles. No one had any advantage. There's no numbers at the end of these. These are all just 350, 350, 350, 350. And yet every single time the stone is depleted, there's always a number at the end. How the hell is there 1 stone? How is there 5 stone? Where do these 6 extra rocks come from? Somebody in the chat, if you're still here, let me know. It always confuses me. I'm not too sure, but holy shit, 29,000 extra gold means that you can keep pumping out Step Lancers all day long. Army count high, 88 to 66. 0 conversions, not that kind of map. Raisings, 6 to 4. Looks like they both killed a bunch of their own buildings with those Siege Onagers. And let's take a look at the total kill counts here. 685 to 663. Another number that is ridiculously close. Hoang only killed 6 civilian units, whether those are villagers or trade carts. Probably villagers, seeing as how he never even penetrated into the trade route. Whereas DracKeN, I'm assuming, what, 120 of these are trade carts, which is what, 6,000 gold that Hoang needed to spend on trade units. Whereas our Mongol, after laying out, okay, he actually added 2 more. So he laid out 2,500 gold for 50. We'll say 2,600, right? That's 50 times 50, 2,500. Hoang needed to replenish his a lot more and more frequently because of these raids. And now he's got no economy to the back. The villagers are all gone. They're all in the forward position. He finally walls this area off. But holy moly, there's not much to say about Michi, except how do you end up playing this map? Do you go with walls? Do you play defensively? Where do you cut? And then eventually, once the status quo it reaches unbearable levels, do you cut through the side? And if so, which side? Outposts, early radar system for both players, indicating where. I mean, the better outposts here for Hoang by a mile. I mean, DracKeN needed. I mean, if Hoang were to cut through here, DracKeN would have been in a bit of trouble, but I don't think Hoang had the time or the ability to do that. He was so focused on just defending and, more importantly, keeping his economy alive. Ends the game with 93 villagers. and trade carts to the 155 of his opponent. Holy moly. And like I said, let me know in the comments, does this game make you want to play Michi or does it not? But I believe the overwhelming trade advantage for our Mongol in teal just absolutely allowed him to have an army primarily, even forget the siege onagers, which at the end of the day are 5-1, but Hoang's not even training one. Let's see if he was at the end of the game. No, he wasn't. Whereas DracKeN was training 3 more on top of the 5. So we were going to get to see 8 siege onagers to 1, which is basically all because of that trade difference. So how heavy do you go into trade? Is 50 the right number? Is 40 the right number? Do you wall off? At the end of the day, he deletes his own wall off without replacing it with a gate. Do you use your houses as part of the wall off? Or do you just build them here and then when you feel like it, just delete them like Hoang? Like imagine Hoang had a row of houses here that those Mangudai would have had to go through. Mangudai versus house is a pretty good deal for the house because the Mangudai attacks on a 12 and a house has 11 pierce armor. And the Mangudai has no bonus against buildings. You are not that kind of unit. And so imagine if instead of a gauntlet of stables and a castle, he had a row of houses here. Double row of houses, just protecting his trade a little bit better. Then he wouldn't have had to delete them. So lots and lots of questions on how to play this map. Lots and lots of opinions, like always in Age of Empires. I welcome all comments. And like I said, an hour and 7 minutes may not have been the best game to choose when I want to just rest and recover my voice. But I knew I had to. When pro players start playing Michi, I think freaking Andy has also started playing this game a lot more. I should say this map a lot more. I gotta cast this because this map basically shares the same features with Deathmatch and why I love it, because you see late game armies, all of those people who complain about, oh, Feudal Age skirmisher versus skirmisher, oh great, you killed a spearman, wow, that's boring, blah blah blah, Dark Age is so boring, blah blah blah. This is the map for you because there is absolutely no action in Dark Age, no action in Feudal. Rarely do you see action in Castle Age unless your opponent chose the Khmer or you choose the Khmer and then you just try to bust through the forest. But outposts should do a good job dealing with that. Generally, you see Imperial Age fully upgraded armies, and that is exactly what we saw. I think they both have nomads and they both have drill, and we got to see absolutely the top of the line Mongol army just slamming into each other. And ultimately, it is DracKeN who is crowned the great Khan of this Michi map, but truly in all metrics, kill count in almost identical, but more importantly, look at this. I still can't get over the fact that it's a basically 200 resources difference after 67 minutes. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous how epic of a clash between these two titans, but zero-sum game. And unfortunately, Hoang falls before the Khanate of DracKeN, and DracKeN is raised to the position of Genghis. Michi Khan takes the W, but GG to both players.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.